This is Malti Vakalanka again here on the 2026 podcast. We're starting off great here, and today I'm joined by Prabhakaran Murugaiah, founder and CEO of Maayu, autonomous AI workforce company that redefines how organizations hire, screen, and manage talent. Welcome, Prabhakaran. And Prabhakaran is a visionary entrepreneur with over 3 decades of impact in HR tech and workforce innovation. He founded major platforms like TechFetch, helped over 1 million professionals find opportunities, and now leads Maayu, a system that goes beyond AI assistance to truly autonomize digital agents capable of managing complex hiring workflows end to end. So, welcome, Prabhakaran. If you could give a little background about yourself and the company, like what made you start, and what does your company do? That'll be super helpful.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Really glad and honored to join this podcast. My name is Prabhakaran Murugaiah. I'm living in the US for almost 30 years. I started my career as a software engineer, and then I started my first company, TechFetch, in 2007, 18 years ago. We built a jobs and job seekers matching platform. Helped over 1 million people in the last 15 years to find jobs. That's our understanding of the landscape of jobs and transformation, all of that. And then my second venture is a social venture to back home, a place called Tirunelveli, where I belong to. So we built a startup incubator, brought companies. We helped 12 companies to build workforce there. We're about 800 people, dominantly for rural workforce. Third one is recently started about a year ago. I have an AI patent approved, very specifically creating an avatar, or we can call it a assistant, which can do self-learning, guided learning, and federated learning. That's the idea of Maayu and the backend. After ChatGPT, even though AI existed over 60 years in various forms, with the generative AI, which is basically the transformation, I would say, for the last four industrial revolution combined will be the AI transformation. It's equivalent to electricity. So I thought it may be maybe another opportunity to build another company in a meaningful impact.
Nice, Prabhakaran. Especially in this HR assisting in terms of recruitment, could you walk us through what exactly your product does in terms of like who are the personas, who are the audience it is addressing?
So Maayu AI, the first product is, I would call it the personalized recruiting assistant, but I'll take a step back of Maayu is a bigger vision. We call it Maayu AI. Maayu is a digital human. AI is going to impact the work and workforce. That's the reason or foundation for the company. What I would say is 4444, which means 4 days of work, 4 hours a day, 4 shifts a day, and everybody will have their AI assistant they can hire at $4 an hour. That is
Oh, wow. That's
the
interesting.
future of that's going to be the future of workforce. And if everybody is going to have an AI assistant in a various form, it could be, so if you say the workforce, the three types of workforce: white collar, gray collar, and blue collar. Today the AI impact is predominantly in the white collar workforce. That too on the very high end, the coding is the one getting disrupted. And then the next level workforce is, you can call it the gray collar, but still the white collar people who sit behind computers or who sit in front of computers. They are the one, again, white collar, but could be some call centers, customer support, a sales assistant. That is also getting disrupted. So the white collar impact is pretty huge. The gray collar and blue collar, again, it will be AI combined with the robotics going to come. Already we are seeing the robot taxis in the market, completely autonomous. So those are different physical AI, something like that. That is all going to come for gray collar and blue collar. So with that concept, we take the AI agent, AI coworker is going to be for anybody and everybody. So we built a foundational AI persona which can read, write, speak, listen, and see all at the same time, not just with one person, maybe 100, maybe 200, maybe 1500 at the same time. So it's basically a digital cloning. That is how AI is going to expand it. So we created that basic digital human and then added, you can think of that as somebody come out of college level of graduation expertise. And then we are adding a specialized skill like recruiting. Then it become a recruiter assistant. We have created another version of Maayu. It's called TAP Coach, Transition Assistant Program Coach, to help military veterans to come to civilian jobs. So we have created another AI coach persona for that. And then we are also creating now customer support coach to help very specific companies. They can take their internal handbook, they can take their internal guidelines and then feed it to Mayu. Then it become that company's trainable virtual assistant. So that is how we are evolving.
So it is just not limited to one job function, is what you're saying.
That's correct.
Uh, Although it appeared like Mayu was purely for HR, and but you're saying it's more than that. It's a personal assistant to no matter what kind of role you are in. Is that a right
Yes, it's a
understanding?
it's a B2B, but the first persona we created recruiter because that can be deployed to a lot of companies quickly. And then
Mhm.
every other persona, same thing, the veteran to military to civilian assistant, again deployed to a lot of organization. So we are picking up the persona that can be deployed in many organization at the same time.
Got it. Now, when the product actually, how does that function? Like, does it ingest? Let's say I'm a recruiter or a hiring personnel. Does it ingest all the resumes and then scores on how the skills match according to? Does it also see a culture fit in the organization? How do you handle bias?
So when we say digital human or a AI co-worker, you may want to think the same way that if you are hiring a recruiter today, what will you do? You interview them, you hire them, and then onboard them. While you're onboarding, you may be creating their email ID, and then you may give access to your ATS. That ATS may have access to your job boards, your existing resumes, and
Right.
everything. Same way, you can hire Mayu and create Mayu at your organization.com ID. That's it. Onboarding is done. We are not a
Okay.
SaaS platform. You don't need to come and use our tool. You don't need to have an integration with API, nothing. You just
Mhm.
create an email ID. Now Mayu is added as one of the AI worker in your company.
Got it. Okay.
And
Okay.
then you can give a direction. I want you to use ATS, and then you can read post the jobs. Whenever there is a resume comes in, it pick up the resume, review the resume, check the relevancy, and then reach out to them, email them, call them, do the pre-qualification, and then give it to the senior recruiter to proceed further. So it will
Hmm.
work like a 24 by 7 recruiting assistant for application who are coming in as an inbound, or it can also go and source candidates like TechFetch or other job boards, something like that. If you hire a recruiter, what are the activity you will be asking them to do? The same thing Maya will do. We have sophisticated methodologies to identify what to do, what not to do. The bias and all, it's a generic term, but actually the bias is already handled by the LLM pretty well. I know
Okay.
it actually, in my view, AI is less biased compared to human because when you talk to Mayu, it doesn't understand whether it
That's
is.
that's an interesting phenomena I've really heard.
Yeah, people don't understand that what is a bias, right?
Right.
Yeah, we human is 90% more biased than the. So when you give a resume, as soon as you saw the resume, as soon as you see the name, you know that whether it's a male or a female or what ethnicity, all I won't call it as a bias. It is part of our human evolution. Our brain thinks that way. It's supposed to think that way. AI doesn't think that way. If you give a resume, it doesn't say that whether it is a male or female. It
Right.
doesn't.
Right.
So as long as you're not specifically asking, identify this ethnicity, and a lot of guardrails can be planted in.
Mhm.
And in our view, the guardrails are in three. I would call it three filters. The first filter is coming from LLM, which will clearly say that if you are asking a question that in a recruiting agent, and you can, if you ask like, will US go to war with Iran? It may say that no, my position is I'm a
Right.
recruiter. I don't know about that. So that's a guardrail from the LLM, and then the other guardrail is from the Department of Labor and Compliances. If you add that, you have to follow. These are the things. then it may know that what are the questions I should ask, what questions I do not want to ask. Even the company says that ask this question, that filter will remove that. Like any recruiter, you train, but they forget, then they ask a question. Um,
Right.
so that prevents more in that guardrail. And the third guardrail is on the company specific. Whenever you're talking to anybody, don't discuss the pay rate, or don't discuss the benefits, or don't discuss whether we are a hybrid or full remote or in office. These are things you don't need to answer it, but it can be done by the senior recruiter. So that is how you can define it. So it is a lot more controlled. It's a lot more. It is basically, it will do what you ask to do within the government compliance and the LLM compliance. So more controlled environment than human, in my view.
Oh, that's great to know. So, how do you balance AI autonomy with human oversight, especially in processes as sensitive as hiring and candidate evaluation?
See, evaluation is, so basically we know 95% of the applications coming into the company, they don't even read the job description. They just want to apply and then ask somebody else to see, do that. So it is a lot more efficient, because many times what we found, the important problem to solve is not to miss a good candidate.
Right.
So that is the important thing. And if it takes 3 days to find that candidate, oh my God, I should have called that guy or the girl 3 days ago. He's already gone or she's already gone, because good people get a job quickly. But when you receive 1,500 applications every day, you don't have the time to go through everything. So
Sure.
the evaluation perspective, how do you bring somebody really good? That's all you need. You need not to reject everything. That can go further. But as soon as you identify somebody who's a 95% match, immediately alert me. That's all. Basically prioritizing not to miss a good candidate, because the person who may be 65% match may be very good for some other place or some other
Right.
job. And for your organization, for your purpose, and somebody may be a good fit, maybe locally here, various constraints and parameter. That's all. So it can do probably 50 or even 100 times better job than a junior level human recruiter. Another way to think about it is, recruiter spends at least 80% of the time going through these emails and checking them, reviewing them, calling them, emailing them. If you take all of that out to AI, then they will be spending more time with more qualified candidates who will be more fit. So if they're talking to 14 candidates a day, they may be able to talk to 30 more qualified candidates a day. So increasing the human touch, that is how AI will add a value to the human, to avoid that very unproductive task, but bring the human touch more for the more qualified people.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there is a human in the loop, although the 95% match candidate is presented to the recruiter, but eventually the ultimate decision would be, a human-centered approach as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The purpose of AI, how we are defining is, how do we increase the human touch, and what places we need to take
Right.
that out, and where we need to add more value to both parties, in the candidate perspective as well as the company perspective.
Okay. So you gave a recruiter viewpoint, right? From a candidate viewpoint, how is this helpful? How is Mayu helpful?
It's actually a lot more helpful for the candidate than the recruiter, because again, unemployment is only 4.5%. Right? I won't say for only. It's about 4.5%. 95% is the people are working, trying to change the job. When they are working, when they're trying to change the job, their availability to reach or talk to somebody is a smaller window, either before office or during the lunchtime or after office. That is not overlapping. So that is very limited time window for the recruiters to reach. With AI, it's a 24/7 assistant. When Maya sends an email, it has a number. I'm AI assistant. You call me anytime. After the work, if they call at 8 p.m., Maya still will pick up the call and then answer and then do the pre-qualification. Hey, what time you are available? No, I'm available only lunchtime tomorrow. Then it can go and check the recruiter's calendar and then schedule it for next lunch hour. So it reduces it. Number one. Number two, they have, before even they apply or send their resume, they talk. I'm looking for a hybrid flexibility. Do they have option available? Or they can ask, can you tell me more about your company? Who are the clients that you guys are working? All of this can be answered. It's a canned, predetermined answers that can give the candidate, oh, okay, this is a right opportunity or not right opportunity. Or somebody might have reached out saying that I'm not available, but I'm looking for a job. I'm really interested in working for this company, but reach out to me after 3 months. So those conversations can be stored, and after 3 months, if there is a match, I will pick up that resume and then
Oh,
call.
wow. That's great.
It has a short term, near term, and long term memory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We got human recruiters have a memory of only the people they talk to, that too
Right.
for a limited time.
Mhm.
Now this is an enterprise level or the company level. It can have 3,000, 30,000 candidates, and then reach out to them again. So
Oh, nice, nice. So at any point, if I'm applying for a job and, I can ask Mayu that I'm interested in this kind of a job with this type of a company, and it can munch the data and present to me a list of jobs that'll match my skill set. Is that pretty much what I'm
yeah, the
reading from
way
a can?
yes, absolutely. The way we are thinking is when we are creating an AI assistant for recruiter, but also that works as an AI assistant for the candidate too.
Right.
We're not charging anything to the candidate, but they can they can call Mayu and ask for, hey, I did attend the interview. Do you have any update? It can answer 24/7. That doesn't
Oh, wow.
exist today. Right? And they say that, can you tell me why I am a good fit? Why did you reach out to me? Why do you feel that I'm a good fit? Then it
Mhm.
can, you have a good learnability. We are looking, our company find people who can come and learn more things. Normal recruiter may not be able to do that. You started your career with Java, now you are in the I now, so that's a learnability, right? That's inferencing. It's very
Yeah.
hard to find out. Or we are working for, say, federal government, and your previous experience with these agencies will be a good fit. That's why I reached out to you. Or you can say that we are looking for somebody with a biotech experience, and you worked for Amgen. And many recruiters may not know that what that company does, and are they in the biotech space? Are they in the space tech? Those are extremely valuable things that AI can bring in.
Nice. Very good. So now, if we want to launch this product globally, how is the reach? Let's say they want to launch in Europe, right? Europe recruiter wants to recruit in Europe. How adaptable is the product basically?
It's a we are trying. So right now we are focusing on English speaking countries specifically, and we are focusing on white collar jobs right now. But
Mhm.
then we will expand to gray collar and blue collar. Right now, US is a bigger market, and we want to fix adoption and other thing, the US side of it. When we go outside, um, we have to have a separate venture. So we are looking for more of JVs and partners in other territories. We didn't want to go directly. So we will give the technology and then we'll customize it. But for now, our scale is right now we are working US because we're not only handling the recruiting, we are also going for, we do have a spin off called Maayu Government Solutions to work with military bases to help
Right.
people who are transitioning. And then
Yeah.
we want to work with the customer support even within the US. And a lot of blue collar hiring is going to be very high. So we want to reach out to those companies who wanted to hire hundreds of thousands of temporary seasonal workers. In US, if you see the numbers, 135 million is the US workforce size. Of
Mm.
that, 72 million hires are happening every year, which
Mhm.
means that every other person is changing the job every year. So of that 72 million, only 8 million is actually white collar jobs, another 34 million in blue collar, another 34 million in or 36 million in gray collar. So that's a large number of jobs. So white collar is a small piece because people go there, work for 3 4 years, but the blue collar jobs are, they're changing job every year, maybe twice.
Oh, no. Okay. That's a good statistic to kind of pinpoint, Prabhakaran. So now that we understand about your product, it's definitely solving a realistic problem statement very well. So as a CEO, what's your primary focus right now? Product innovation or expanding real world use cases or enterprise adoption?
So we have a different goal. Like I said, the high volume hiring. All my life, I was thinking, living, breathing on how do we get somebody to get a job today.
Yeah.
That's the goal. So I would put that as our number one in terms of vision and priority,
Oh,
and what
that's a
it
wonderful,
takes.
I would say that's a wonderful vision.
Thank you,
Kudos to you.
thank
At
you.
YO2, we make that effort, we highly encourage and also create a lot of avenues for fresh grads to come in. So, yeah, I can totally relate to that. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's
Every HR company, every staffing company, every recruiting company, end of the day, we are all doing, with a business and a purpose, but end of the day, helping somebody to land in a job is a very
mm,
noble thing. So when we put that in, okay, in a year or two or three, when we get up, hey, we have 1 million people to help in our platform. That is how we want to think it. What it takes to do it, where do we get more demand, jobs coming in, and where do we get these people, and where there is a mismatch, and how do we solve that problem? That mismatch requires more of a technology, more of a learning, more of understanding. So there may be maybe 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 things to do, but it's all drilled down from the top line.
very nice. Yeah, that's great to hear that. So, generally, in recruitment has notoriously high cycle times and friction, right? So, what have been the most challenging trade offs you have faced between complete autonomy and augmentation, especially with enterprise clients?
I'll give a different answer to that. Recruiting is controlled by team of recruiters, and because they all feel that the human touch is more important, or
Mhm.
this is the way that they are all successful. Many companies or even CEOs don't realize the power of the recruiters or the power of
Yeah.
the recruiting team. And the company's top line and bottom line essentially controlled by the recruiting team. If they hire good people, everything is increases. If they do not bring the right people in, so it's basically the top line and bottom line is not controlled by the CFO, not controlled by the salespeople, but it's controlled by the team of people in the recruiting.
Mhm.
And what I see a problem in the market is the recruiter feels and threatened that if I bring AI, my job may not be there. Mindset that it is a responsibility of the CEOs to help them, saying that, okay, you are going on a bike, I'm going to give you a private jet. You take all your recruiters and go and get whatever things done. That's the
Right.
power of AI. Sometimes they take it. Sometimes okay, we may not need all these recruiters. No, you may need all the recruiters because the number of hiring is going to double moving forward. Every company need a AI transformation, and either people will change job, upgrade it, displacements, all of that are going to happen.
Yeah.
The current team, CEOs may not make the decision of doubling the number of recruiters, but the number of hiring is going to be double. At the same time, the number of people who are going to apply, number of people are going to get through the process to get it hired right, it's going to be 10 times. So with the same number of people, how do you get 10 times productivity? There
Mhm.
is no way. That's a lack of understanding and adoption in my view. It will slowly come up. And the other way to look at it is 15 years ago, 20 years ago, how did we book the air tickets? We need to call the agent, and they will
Right.
have access to only 3 4 airlines, and they check it and saying that, hey, these are the 3 4 options I have, which one you want? I don't want this. Okay, I can change the dates and go back. It takes 2 days, 3 days to book the air ticket, at least for international. And today all of that can be done in fraction of second, because when the internet came, because the cloud and infrastructure on the on demand available, so all these inventory is available by the airline to anybody and everybody. So that replaced the travel agencies. The same way, AI will come and replace these recruiting agencies. They are just finding somebody to, that demand pool, the platform aggregation will happen. Statistically speaking, there are 18,819 staffing companies in the country.
Wow.
Okay. If you ask 15, 20 years ago, there may be 20,000 travel agencies. Okay. Today, maybe 200 travel agencies for corporates predominantly, maybe 2,000 travel agencies for corporate. So that technical took the travel agencies probably one digit out,
Yeah.
not right. Same way, this 18,819 companies, in my view, AI will come and displace two digits.
Oh, and that's a lot.
It's a transformation, right? Companies will be able to hire people directly using AI than going to the recruiting agencies. If it is just a recruiting agency, they need to elevate themselves that rather than just providing bodies, can I aggregate and I brought 10, 15 good people and I can build this solution. I know
Yeah.
this industry space, I know this retail, I know this domain very well, where
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will help you to transform into AI. That is a change likely to happen. Maybe 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but it is eventually will happen.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree with you, Prabhakaran. After talking to a lot of CEOs, right? They openly say we don't need bodies. We need somebody who can be a partner to us and solve our problems, understand, and bring the emerging technologies. And that's what we specialize in doing. Exactly. Not only just in a particular vertical, but across the spectrum, whether it's retail or healthcare. I agree with you. But those are the companies which will be having some rocky time. So, yeah. So, could you tell me some of the main factors one should take into consideration when deciding what autonomous AI tools to select? Could you describe?
So there is no specific tool in terms of autonomous. It is all AI engineering work. It is not a workflow. It
I
is
know.
more than a AI native approach, AI first approach, and building the productization. So any LLMs that you can use, but the orchestration, the multimodal, that's pure engineering work. And an example, when we are building in a workflow automation is different than creating a digital human. If it is a digital human, then I send a resume. You call Maayu and say, "Hey, I sent a resume yesterday. Did you get a chance to look at it?" So it should be able to read that resume and then bring it in the memory before the call. And then, okay, after the call, hey, I need to go. Can you call me back? Maybe tomorrow. When Maayu put it in a schedule, and then the next call next day saying that email conversation and then the pre conversation and then put that in. Also, this multi-model, agentic, that's a pure engineering work.
Mhm.
So there is no tool today available to do that. There are workflows available, right? There's a sequencing. You have to go and source resume, and you have to go and check the relevancy score. That is the sequencing approach. That's a workflow approach. But creating a digital human is a multi-model, multi-agentic. It's a pure engineering work.
So, what kind of infrastructure stack do you all use in building like my use
We
product?
pretty much use all major hyperscalers, AWS, GCP, as well as Azure. But each one of them, certain things they are really good at it, easy to implement.
Right.
So in our view, we say that we are a serverless architecture. That's why if you have a requirement and then you need to identify 600 people from that, call 35 people, then
Mhm.
we scale Mayu 35 times and then call all the 35 people at the same time. So
Okay.
and then the call may go for 3 minutes. Half of the call will go to voicemail, and then another call will be for longer duration for 10 minutes. And then as soon as the call is done, that particular instance is getting destroyed. So that is how the scalability will work in terms of so then you have an infrastructure. Now you are in the cloud, so you can expand it to scale it whatever the way, so with the flexibility.
So, what capabilities define the next generation of autonomous enterprise AI, domain intelligence, ethics, safeguards, or adaptability?
So it is evolving. See, the fully autonomous, basically it's a difference between co-pilot and autopilot, right? Co-pilot requires a sequencing of pull and push. Okay, stop it, do it, and then verify it and do it, something like that. It's a bit more of, think of like monkeys, right? Go and get me a banana, something like that. But that's one particular task for that particular time, like asking your kid to, okay, can you get me a pen? That's that's more of a co-pilot. But autonomous requires various things. One is predominantly, I would say, three things are important for autonomous. It's all part of the stack already. Some of them are maturing, some of them are very well matured, so
Yeah.
that will keep going. An example is, one is the self-learning, right? Continue to learn so that more and more feedbacks happening on both sides, good and bad, what to do, what not to do. So that's part. Second is predominantly for the autopilot or autonomous is the decision making, right? It's self decision making. Why should
Mhm.
I make that decision? That is the second piece. The third is the scalability. If it is autonomous, that requires how fast I want to go and how many times I need to use the resources to scale. That's the third piece. And the fourth piece is actually data security. What data I need to keep, what data can share. So these are the three, four foundational pieces, but nothing specific to technology. It is again core engineering,
Yeah.
where how you want to stack this and how you want to funnel this. It is not sequential. It is like an orchestration.
Yeah.
So you need to bring everything together. It is like our brain, right? System one, system two.
Yeah.
When we drive and listening to music, then it's more of a physical, like muscle memory. But at the same
Yes.
time, when there is a call came in, then the driving goes from system one to system two, where the system one brain takes care of the call, more focused, and the system two take care of the driving. But obviously, because of the system one power is high, where we are giving more attention to the call, you automatically slow down the car. You try to make a mistake, not to give more attention to the
Yeah.
traffic and go close nearby. All of that happens. So
Yeah.
same thing with that system one, system two doesn't exist today in AI.
No, that's good to know that these vertical pillars are taken into account in the design, no matter what, but they're built into the tool. So that, especially data security, as you had mentioned, the security by design is a very important concept. So that's good to know. So, how do you see global AI talent ecosystem evolving, especially from markets like India to the US and Europe? I think this is a very interesting question and also an interesting answer from your side, which I think the audience will be super interested to know.
Yeah, it's what I see on both sides. Not everybody need to be a coder, but they need to use AI. Most 90 percentage of the generic code can be written by AI, but again, it won't be a enterprise grade or production grade, something like that. Yes, the AI usage of AI to be a part of the coding is going to be crucial, and lot of people are already using it, from the evolution of Gemini to Cursor to other products. We all see that everybody started using a lot of products, or projects are getting done. And then if you go a little bit senior level, the management level, where they came out of the hands-on coding and support for a long time, where they take the critical decision, who to do, what to do, when to do. That segment is going to have a huge problem. In my view, 50% job displacement will happen on the senior level,
Yeah.
because when they are when the mid-level and junior level people, when they are using AI, many times they may not need help from the senior people to help them make the decision. So that leadership is going to have a transformation, where they need to spend more approach on, what is the solution design I need to do, what is
Right.
the AI first approach I have to do, what are the tools that I need to bring in, how do I evaluate the tools, what is the data protection, what is the security, and the policy and compliances. They need to move away from managing people to managing the AI transformation. So those who are not able to transform themselves to manage the AI transformation are likely to have a more problem.
Yeah.
So in terms of talent, I think there won't be an issue for a software jobs, because okay, even though 90% code can be generated by AI, do I need to be in coding? Do I need to be in software? Will there be any software jobs exist in another 1 or 2 years? Those questions are completely irrelevant, because there are going to be plenty of jobs, and there will be plenty of need for software engineers. I'll put it in a different way. From mainframe to client server happened
Yeah.
in 80s and 90s, and
Right.
then the client server to internet and mobile, that every client server required, and then also in parallel with the cloud. So if you see that, from mainframe, still mainframe exists, still a lot of applications are in mainframe, critical applications. From mainframe to client server, still a lot of client server exists, then the cloud, and then now we are in the AI native. If you combine all of that, every piece of it need an AI first transformation. None of the projects will work. None of the projects cannot continue as it is, maybe another 2, 3, 5, 10 years, because 50% of the usage will be done by AI agents, not by human. So when 50% of your system, consumer application software is going to be used by AI, today, none of the system, zero. None of the systems or applications are designed for AI agents. So that transformation has to happen, which is 10 times more than any of that transformation from mainframe to client server to cloud. Take everything, AI transformation 10 times of it, but that may not need 10 times people. The same number of people, but they will be 10 times more productive.
Do you recommend on that note, what would be the engineering community? What upskill do they need? Is it an agentic AIs or how do you?
Agentic AI is more of a conceptual thought. And how do it's basically understanding the normal synchronous, asynchronous, object oriented programming to prompt based engineering and building so that's a more of a AI engineering stack understanding, not with coding. Even predominantly they're using Python, but a lot of tools are going to come. There'll be drag and drop. But even those drag and drop tools are completely different from how they built the software stack before. So understanding AI stack is more important than the specific tools and technologies
Okay,
for building AI native applications.
got it. Okay. Could you share any use case, Prabhakaran, where Maayu shifted hiring from manual bottleneck to autonomous execution and what that impact looked like?
Yeah, so we hypothetically in a case study perspective, we are able to improve our outcome is 3 times compared to just a human. So human plus AI is 3 times more productive, but it can go larger and bigger when more and more candidates are adopting it. Even though right now what we are seeing is active candidates are willing to engage with AI, passive candidates maybe 50-50, and niche they don't want to engage with AI right now. So these are the 3 patterns that we are seeing. But for active hiring, somebody is looking for a job and their adoption is close to 95%.
Okay. So by adopting from manual to
On the
Maayu,
candidate perspective, yeah.
yeah. So the results were pretty high, is what. Okay,
Correct.
cool. I think we are almost towards the end, and this is a lightning round question. We generally ask to getting to know you, like, what is one AI capability you can't live without right now?
That's a simple question, but it's a long answer. It is our second brain, right? Something like that, and a common database like either ChatGPT or Gemini. I interact more than mobile phone, more than any other website. The interaction with LLM, large language model, is the foundation that's going to be every day, every hour, every minute, I would say.
Okay. Looks like it is a lot of people's favorite right now. So, what is your favorite product metric tied to autonomous success?
A lot of. It's not a single answer again, but more than a creativity, guardrails are more important for the autonomous success. If you want to reduce the hallucination, you need to reduce the creativity. Then what to say, what not to say is, for autonomous to be success, the guardrails are very tightened. Guardrails are highly critical.
Okay. One thing most companies get wrong about autonomous AI.
Decision making.
Okay.
How do you create an environment to make the decision is very, very hard.
True.
But decision making in a fraction of second is more important to prevent everything. That's not just one thing, maybe 100 different things you need to do to help them to make that decision. Otherwise, still it is okay. If you're not able to make the decision, bring a human in the loop and wait for it.
Yeah.
But what happens if there's no human in the loop?
Yeah. That makes sense. So, a podcast or a thinker shaping how you think about AI and leadership.
More learning, I would say. It is evolving faster than anything that I have ever experienced in my life. So you need to be more of a sponge, and then pretty much every day, whatever you learn, You just crush it and take everything out and ready to absorb again, and then keep only thing which are matter to you and leave it and don't stuck with that. So being a good sponge to absorb more learning.
Do you have any of your favorite platforms that you read?
Pretty much everything,
Okay.
so usually it was guided by predominantly through the Gemini and ChatGPT on where to go, where to go, and again, either sometimes if time crunch, YouTube is helpful because
Yeah,
that is 10 times faster than reading a book.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I agree. And one capability every HR tech founder should build internally before scaling.
The existing data cleansing is important, and don't bring a lot of junks and then let it learn. So removing the trash is more important before you build a bigger capability.
Well, that ends our podcast, Prabhakaran. Is there any message you would like to give to our engineering community or to investors? How Maayu is differentiator?
Don't fear to experiment it. It's not about Maayu or any AI product. There are a lot of AI wrappers coming up, and understanding what actually doing, how it is doing is only you have to experience it. So feel free to experience it multiple times, multiple tools, multiple products, and then that will help you to increase your knowledge of what to choose, how to choose. And many times it may not be able to explain that how they built on the back end, but while you're seeing, don't buy a product or don't buy anything just for one feature.
That's a good advice. Yeah. No, thank you. So, if our audience have to reach you, what is the best way to connect?
My LinkedIn is a predominant thing. I'm very proactive writer post thing. And if you want to take a look at how Mayu is doing the multi-agent, if you go to Mayu, MAAYU.ai/demo, that can show how the multi-agentic sequencing is working. It's less than 5 minutes video, but that can show the power of what we do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhakaran. This has been such a insightful, especially seeing Maayu making a difference in the HR, tech, and autonomous agent world. This is truly solving a real use case and the real world problem. We wish you a huge success because it's truly making a difference. And thank you again for sharing a very honest insights into the labor market or skill market. Very insightful. So
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.